Alright, this is the recap for today, Monday, February 23rd. Ended up taking no trades. Didn't really favor price action today, and no trades is better than a losing trade. So, bias this morning was very bearish. We had this built up low resistance liquidity right here. We had London low above us. We had a 1 hour intermediate high. We had trended up there overnight and started getting a market structure shift to the downside from there. 4 hour time frame, we were inside of this bearish 4 hour gap. Yesterday's open this buy side we swept out on Friday is protected. What do I mean by that? High that swept out another high, especially inside of a gap. It's very bearish sign, and from there, this is just a horrible target. Yes, you have stacked highs here, but it's a protected high. It's not good. Bunch of BPRs here, bunch of resistance. One thing we had yesterday at market open at 5 o'clock, we ended up making a small new week opening gap. So, I mean, it wasn't anything significant, but usually they do end up getting filled the week that they are made. We ended up filling that off of open today on ES, you can see. But main bias was strictly bearish just because of the 4 hour gap we're in, and off open we ended up manipulating higher into this 1 hour intermediate high and 4 hour gap again, hourly gap, whatever. SMT at the new week opening gap, pretty short bias. From there was a 30-second inversion here. I ended up fading it just because the 15-minute, we possibly were going to open up a 15-minute. Wasn't a super volatile open. It was kind of a clean 30-second. Just not, it wasn't like a light bulb trade. And if I was really, really bearish, I'd want to see like these 1 minutes to get inversed. Don't believe we had a 2 minute. Yeah, we also had a 2 minute down here. Just wasn't that good of a trade. We ended up manipulating that high again. From there, I was pretty short. We ended up getting another 30-second inversion, which I said wasn't bad. But from there, we opened up a 5 minute below. So this was my condition. I was willing to take shorts if we were to inverse it. But one thing that happened during this manipulation move up, ES ended up making this like relative equal high. And I was saying I'm not willing to short until we take this out on ES, because assuming if I get this inversion to the downside on NQ, we get this close. Obviously ES could manipulate that high. Maybe we make a lower low on NQ and my stop loss would be protected, but just not willing to take that trade until ES takes out that buy side. So what do we end up getting? We end up getting a failed close on the 5 minute time frame. We don't inverse it. And then I did say this 1 minute like death candle here that was literally 70 points. It was honestly a good trade. Not good, like discretionary wise, it was good. I didn't personally take it, but I said it was actually a pretty decent trade just off of hindsight. I didn't take it. No reason to possibly take a loss. I would have had a tighter stop as well. Probably over here above this BPR. And it did end up playing out. And from there, we ended up making a 5 minute above here. Continuations, I didn't like this long. So if you look, London low was this hourly gap here. And we ended up making a 5 minute above. But like I said, I wasn't willing to take any shorts until ES manipulated this high. If you look at ES, we never manipulated this high again, didn't even come close. And we ended up pulling into this bearish 5 minute. Got a 1 minute inversion to the downside for a continuation right here. I marked this out in live time in my Discord. Stop loss would have been above this candle high. Literally almost would have gotten to the tick, stopped out, but it actually didn't. And main target would have been this minor sell side, which was this Asia low. Didn't really mean anything. We did sweep it out during the Asia session, but we're very bearish, and if we're going to be bearish, this low is not going to be protected. We could reverse from here after sweeping out this intermediate low, so just a good target. Not a horrible trade, but just wasn't willing to take it just because we could have gotten stop rated and wanted these relative equal highs. Obviously we didn't. Super choppy, and we do eventually end up hitting the sell side. We did make a SMT at Asia at around, I think it was right here. So if you were in this trade, most likely you would have taken profit here, because we could make this SMT at Asia and then slowly run up to this trend line we built and eventually take out previous buy side on ES. So that's that. No trades for me. Super sloppy price. Just not a clean. We did deliver pretty cleanly, but not in a timely manner. So it's the recap for today.